John, we get this question all the time, both in email and DMs and in-person lessons. Guys want to know how to compress the ball more like the guys they see on TV when they play, like to get that feel. And most of us have done it at least by accident once or twice, where you get that just pure feel of almost not even feeling the ball come off the face, but you get that tour-like flight. We're going to show you 3 drills today on how to do exactly that. We get sent a lot of training aids to try out, and for us, they've got to be 3 things, right?
Yep.
They've got to be simple to use, has to provide good feedback, reliable feedback, and then it has to force you to do the work. We don't like training aids that do the work for you because, you know, the research shows that you're really not learning the skill it's trying to show you. What we've got here in our hands, a divot board, and this kind of hits all 3. 1, it's very simple to use. 2, it provides incredible feedback. You can see right there, your club comes through the so-called ball there, the little yellow spot. It's going to show you exactly how it did that. And then this forces you to make the correction of putting the club on the ball in the right places with the right path, heel toe, toe to heel. This forces you to do all of that. Now, if you want to find out more about this, how we use it, how we recommend you use it, and what it's going to do for your golf game, just click on the iCard above in the top left-hand corner of this video. It'll take you to our full analysis of this training aid, show you exactly how we use it, and show you why we love it. Sean, so one of the first things that we see from keeping golfers being able to cover the golf ball to compress it more, which you've got to have these centers, upper and lower body centers working correctly to compress the ball, it's when and how much they start shifting their mass throughout the golf swing. Yeah. I'm going to kind of demonstrate one of these little common things that we see with regards to that late move to the right.
Yeah, this is a big one. We call it the late shift, right?
Yeah.
So golfers are real worried and nervous about making any lateral movement off the ball. And we see it from beginners up to major champions.
Yeah.
So basically what that looks like is trying to stay very still going back with the hips, maybe turning them, but not a whole lot of turn. And then at the top of the swing to get some momentum going, then they finally are forced to shift to the right.
When that happens, you're in big trouble.
The timing is shot.
It's crazy how in today's age where we've got so many videos available of what great golfers do, that the idea of lateral motion in the golf swing being thought of as bad.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Every great golfer does it.
Yeah,
now,
if you've measured any swings, you know that they're moving laterally.
Yeah, I mean, I can overeat salad and it be bad. You can overdo anything good. But the answer to that is to never eat another salad.
Yeah, exactly.
It's to eat a right amount of salad.
Exactly right.
This lateral movement off the ball, we're going to step into gears real quick, and we're going to show you what exactly should happen, when it should happen, and then most importantly, I think you're going to like this drill coming up.
Yeah.
So we've chosen this PGA Tour winner because he doesn't have any crazy outliers in his movement pattern. He's about as middle of the road as an example as we can find for showing how great players shift in their swings. We'll include his sway numbers or his shift numbers for both his pelvis and his chest here at the top left of your screen, so you can clearly see them move in real time. We'll also add in a face-on silhouette of his swing so you can better see where the club is as we look at his swing. The centers are always set to 0 right here at the start. This gives us a great reference to compare to at any point during the swing. As he gets moving, notice how early he shifts both of his centers to the right. This is very common, but often missed because it's camouflaged behind the club's movements, which is exactly why we like this view. It's very easy to see this first important shift. So as you can see, early in the backswing, we've got a shift to the right, which is typically in the 1 to 1.5 inch range. As he keeps winding himself closed in the backswing, notice what happens. Notice where his centers move. They kind of hang out a little on the right in the middle third of his backswing, and as the club starts working back towards the target, you can see his centers falling back that way also. And here at the top, you can see why we coined the term recentering years ago. It's because his centers have moved back to the center or back to 0-0 where they started. And it's your ability to start your downswing back here from the center that will afford you several advantages that you wouldn't get otherwise. From here, he continues his fall onto his front foot. And note, it's not just with his pelvis. Both his upper and lowers are falling together onto his front foot. Right here, they are both 4 inches forward from where they started. This is critical because this is also the point where the ground forces should start spiking under your lead foot. Yep, those forces should start spiking this early, which is one of the reasons why it's so important to recenter as early as the top. Here he's perfectly covering the ball with both of his centers. As he continues on down, his increasing ground forces under that lead foot start to stabilize and then start tilting his upper body back. This is why it's a bad idea to start tilting away from the target to start your downswing. And then on into impact, he continues to clear his right side through the ball for a full compressed release into the back of the ball. This is a pretty textbook example of the shift in timing we see from great players. So as Sean's going to describe this drill, we're going to put about as good as you can do it here beside us, so you can we're going to play it on a loop, so you can just see how perfectly in sync and how subtle these movements are when you actually start doing it.
Yeah, so we love this drill. We basically kind of named the company somewhat after this kind of drill because it adds some athleticism into the motion, right? So if I was going to demonstrate it here, you would take your normal stance width, right?
Yep.
Normal ball position, and just move your foot about 3-4 inches over to the left.
Okay.
Okay, for a right-handed golfer. Very soon into the backswing, I'm going to fall onto my left foot, right? It's not a big baseball swing and then push. It's as I'm going back, I fall on my left foot, and then I hit. And you can see when I do that, I'm moving my centers over top of the ball, my upper and lower body, and I'm able to compress the ball with some speed.
So you said three very important things there. One, it's not a big baseball swing, load up, where I can stay over here all day. We call that dipping your toe in the pool, right? I don't want to fall in the pool, I want to dip my toe. That's not what we're talking about at all. So it's here and then moving forward, right? And then you talked about the timing of that step, which is very important. We don't want to go over here and we can balance ourselves and I can do this all day. It needs to be early enough, so we want this little fall to happen here. And then the third thing, I don't remember what you said. Oh, it's a fall, it's not a push.
When you push, you tilt the body too far. When I fall, I can surf forward with the upper staying on top of the lower a little longer until I add this last kind of pushing with the lead side here, and that tilts me back.
Here's what golfers really struggle with this concept. Let me have you set up to it.
Sure.
I do this in lessons all the time, and Sean would be standing on the force plates. All right, I'm going to put my body in the way of his body, and I'll just say, all right, Tom, put 100% of your pressure on this front foot. What do we see golfers do all the time? Yeah. So he's pushing off his back foot because he's trying to move his mass on top of this. I'm not letting him shift.
Yeah.
So what you actually do is wind up putting pressure under the back foot, the opposite of what we want.
It's a little different way to think about it, and let's do it the right way. Push on me now. If I want to put 100% pressure on my left, all I have to do is that.
That's it. He just threw his pressure forward very quickly, and that's what we want in the golf swing. So the same thing applies with a step drill. It's here early, and it's this fall right. So I'm not doing, that move. It's just a boom, changing foot locations.
You could almost feel like you're lightening the right foot.
That's exactly what it is.
Instead of pushing off of it.
You want to get in the habit of weighting and unweighting the feet rather than trying to shove, push, slide, all that happening.
Yeah.
All right, let's come back with drill number 2. All right, so the next drill we've got for you for these more compressed tour-like iron shots is how to get the club shallowing correctly, moving the lead wrist correctly, and allow for speed in the left arm, right? We've got to have the speed. We are not trying to leave this arm up. No. So a great way to do that, most right-handed golfers are going to set up right-handed, and it's the right hand that's going to kind of gum up the works for them, right?
Yeah.
So let me have you set up to it.
Okay.
We're going to go down the line here, actually.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take your right hand completely out of the equation. Okay. All right, start it a little bit in front of you, and just whip it back to kind of 3/4 backswing. All right, he's in a really good spot now to make a downswing. His lead shoulder is lower, right? His right shoulder is backing out of the way. What we don't see when that happens is golfers take it back and do this. Never seen that before.
Yeah, if you get it some momentum here, it'll swing back kind of and get in balance.
Okay.
The club feels light here. That's what you would want.
Yep,
You never
perfect.
go like this.
Now let's see you complete the downswing from there. So we're going to start it over.
Okay.
Whip it back. Okay, so what you saw there, if you're paying attention to it, is you saw the club go up. Now he's got the weight of the club starting to really kind of lower everything as he catches that and turns around. That is the sequence that you're looking for.
Yeah, you want to be able to feel the weight of that club when you're doing this, because you can feel it, the sense of it kind of shallowing a little bit instead of pulling on it this way, which feels kind of awkward with one arm. That's why we
Right.
like this drill.
Yeah, because what'll happen in a real swing is golfers get up here, even if they get it in a good spot, this wants to go this way,
Absolutely.
right? That arm wrestling move, and we're taking that out of the equation. So you've made a good backswing, you've shallowed it, you've added arm speed without doing this right here, without going here and doing that. Nobody does that left-handed either, because you'll hit your foot back here. So you've done all those things correctly. Now let's start to incorporate the right arm movements. We're going to make it sit in the backswing, back seat, and move correctly.
Yeah, so we can just kind of catch it
Yep.
back here, right?
Yep.
Let it just go a little bit go along for the ride. You know, it's not about not using the right arm, it's about training it.
It's
to
about training it,
work
exactly right.
correctly. And I love this little left arm drill too. It just gives you a good sense of what you need to do down by the ball here to have this release properly. And also, like Mike said, you can just add that right hand and start getting a sense for where it goes. If you do it wrong, your club will come off your right hand.
You'll see guys, if you go to a tour event and there's a backup on a tee, you'll see them talking to each other doing this exact same thing.
Yeah, it's
It's very ingrained in good golf
good
swings.
players is intuitive, but you take a higher handicapper and they do this number with it. They don't understand that there's that supination and that rotation in the arm that lets this club kind of flow through and square up.
So the progression, left arm only, right? You're going to get it up, the club's going to shallow, you can see it drop behind me. Then you're going to whip it around you. Then you're going to just go make the right arm kind of participate but not mess it up, okay?
Yep.
And then the final stage of this, and we want you to film yourself doing these, because we want all of these to look like the left arm only. Then the final stage is going up, catching it, and having it make those same movements now with the right arm participating. If you can do that without it looking any different, you got it. All right, Sean, our final drill for this kind of completing the chain of this tour-like compression is going from actually the delivery phase of the golf swing,
Close enough.
golf swing from here to impact and past impact, okay? So we're gonna set you up first facing the camera, and we're gonna put the ball in a good ball position. So let's have you set up to that in a good ball position.
Okay, good.
All right, so you're gonna wheel yourself all the way through the swing and kind of stop at that delivery phase in the downswing. All right, so his hips are slightly open, shoulders are still about 15 degrees closed, and the club's in a good spot. Now from here, how should you get to the ball?
Well, I'm going to start letting this side lengthen.
Okay,
Right? When I do that, this left shoulder goes up. It's going to start pushing the arms downward, and the right arm's going to start straightening, and the wrists are going to start unloading, and that allows me to hit the ball.
exactly right. Now you've done this drill a bunch.
Yeah.
So you know what to do. When we show this drill to, we're talking not just bad golfers, but scratch golfers, single digit golfers, they'll either miss the ball completely or top it.
Yeah. It's a
Because
tough
let's
drill
get
at
back
first.
into that same spot. Because what'll happen is they won't be extending this side, and they'll just try to rotate from there.
And they won't unload the wrist because they
That's
think they're
exactly
trying
right.
to hold lag. This thing's got to uncock. As all this moves up and around, this left wrist will unhinge, and the back of the left hand will square, and you can hit these nice little solid shots just like that.
That's exactly right. You're going to see on gears here in just a second how this angle releases, this downward cocking, so to speak, releases into the ball as everything else turns. Here you're looking at two different views of the same golf swing from the same PGA Tour winner. The angle you're seeing here is the angle between his left forearm and the club shaft. This is also referred to as the lag angle. We're starting him right at the beginning of what's commonly called the delivery phase of the swing. Note his angle at the start of his delivery, which is 127 degrees. As we move him down into impact, you can see that angle increase fairly rapidly. We see golfers every day trying their best to keep this from happening. The idea being that this is a cast or it'll lead to flipping. But as you can see, this is a critical part of a world-class release. Golfers tell us all the time they're trying to take the hands out of their release. The idea being to deliver the club with body rotation instead of the hands. When we hear that's their intent, we'll show them what happens from this view. This is the same golfer, same swing. His hips here at the start of the delivery are 28 degrees open. His shoulders, 17 degrees closed. Also got to point out, right here in his golf swing, his club face is 42 degrees open to his club path, which is very common, by the way. No golfer has their club face square to their path right here in the golf swing. As he moves into impact, his hips have rotated another 13 degrees, his shoulders another 18. For reference, this player is on the high end of body rotation when compared to other PGA Tour players. So in that same delivery window, he's had more downcocking happening than body rotation. And if, like so many yams, if he tried to rely on only his body rotation to square his face, his club face would be 25 degrees open here. But thankfully for him, he doesn't try to do that. Yes, there is and should be some body rotation happening during delivery, but it is not what squares the face, nor the biggest contributor for squaring the club face. Educating your hands and arms is just as important as learning to rotate. Without it, the club face would be left miles open, robbing you of compression rather than increasing it. So it's not, it's a completely swing myth, a bad idea to think, I get the club face good, then I just rotate through the ball. There's never been a golf ball hit that way. I don't care what the player feels. We've measured it 8 ways to Sunday.
Yeah.
There is definite arm motion, wrist uncocking that is necessary to hit that ball correctly. And if you do this drill and you just try to hold the angle and rotate, you either miss the ball or hit it terribly.
You'll be whiffing it.
You'll be whiffing it. So give this a try. Give all 3 of these a try. You start to do them correctly, you are definitely going to start to improve your ball strength.
If you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and give us a like, give us a thumbs up. Also, if you have a question about the video or there's a topic you want us to cover in a future video, leave it down in the comments below. We read every single comment and we respond to them, and that's how we create new content for you in the future. Now, if you haven't already, go ahead and click the subscribe button so you know exactly when one of our new videos comes out. If you want more compression on your iron shots, more tour quality, solid iron shots every time you go out to play, we created a free video just for you. In the pinned comment below, you're gonna find a link. Click on the link, gonna be taken to another page. You're gonna enter your name and your email address. Once you do that, you're gonna be taken instantly to the free video training where you're gonna learn our #1 go-to drill to get more compression on your iron shots, which is gonna allow you to hit more greens and have more fun playing the game.